thank you everyone for tuning in to this project. Today I'll be presenting the final product of my group, which is Group 3, Team 3 of the GRUEN project. Our team members include Ali Katao from France, who is backup presenter, me, also from France, Teun Bos from the Netherlands, and Victor Lepping, also from the Netherlands, and our friends from India, Vishwa Rudresh and Saran Bashkar. So at first, I'd like to show you a small video that I've prepared. And yeah.
Hello everyone, I am Victor Lepping of Team 3. Our team has been working on a city plan here to present to you our final product, our own green urban environment. This particular green urban environment will be following a Harris-and-Owen model of multiple nuclei. This signifies that our city is divided.
We cannot hear the sound, but
Is there no sound?
it's very soft. Your sound is very soft. So
it's a little low. The audio level is a bit low.
It's the high. I apologize. It's the highest I can put it on YouTube.
In their own role in the city.
It's okay.
From one another, which prevents unplanned urban growth and overpopulation. This allows our urban environment to regulate its land use wisely and in a very structured manner. Furthermore, the advantages of
much better
is that industrial zones, which tend to pollute urban environments, are located far away from densely populated areas. Additionally, the industrial zone in this urban environment is powered by geothermal or solar energy, which causes minimal pollution. Naturally, the whole city uses renewable resources to minimize emissions. On top of that, with a structured and organized mapping of different zones or nuclei, the city is able to reduce the amount of waste and control its agriculture. It is of the utmost importance for our city to implement the use of recyclable packaging, biogas, and geothermal energy. Littering is not tolerated in a green urban environment, therefore such action will have substantial fines. Our streets look as green as the picture above, if not any greener. As it comes to attention, leads to absolutely no litter. In addition to that, we support the construction of bicycle paths to reduce car use. Along with the bicycle paths, our green urban environment has a public transportation network consisting of an underground metro and more that has no additional fees and no usage price. Its funding is met by the taxes received by the state. Apart from network, these lines are an efficient transportation vehicle. They are powered from biogas. The red nuclei, first picture, Central Business District, CBD, urban environment. It is the economic heart of the city and incorporates all of the businesses. With the construction of parks around and inside the CBD, we are avoiding overcrowded environments for the citizens of the city. The purple zone corresponds to the high-density residential zone. It encompasses a considerable amount of sustainable residential area using renewable resources. The commuter areas are as peaceful and sustainable as our CBD, high-density residential area, but they offer a much more suitable living environment for people working in agriculture. As it is located further away from the CBD, transportation to other parts of the city are free and therefore cause no distress to the commuters. Vertical buildings include farms to reduce land use and between and inside zones. There are uninhabited zones where the nature and biodiversity of the environment is preserved. Suburbs follow the same idea, preserving wildlife and forests. In conclusion, the green urban environment is completely sustainable, only using renewable resources, preserves nature and biodiversity, decreases waste and littering.
We lost the audio there.
All possible to achieve.
Okay.
All right. So that's it with the video. And we have additional information on our website, which I hope I'll be able to share at the end of this presentation. We also have pictures, and we have a presentation created by our friends over in India that I'm showing right now. So Saran and Vishwa prepared this presentation for us. So our ideal city The main objectives in our ideal city, green city, are to ensure proper city planning. This helps us to prevent future problems such as having to relocate industrial zones to accommodate citizens or having large amounts of pollution in proximity to citizens. So proper city planning, we want to increase and develop the life of our citizens and the standards for our citizens. Proper city planning will make sure that no citizen has to live in proximity of heavily industrialized areas. It would also ensure that factories have different ways of removing waste to make sure that there's no dumping of waste into rivers or the environment, as this causes disease and death among other human and living organisms. Proper city planning would ensure that this does not occur and that there are other means of waste management. We would do this by using the Harris-Oman model of multiple nuclei, which separates cities into multiple zones. This ensures that industrial zones, commercial zones, and residential zones have their place and can grow in their own space without prohibiting growth in other zones. We would, however, ameliorate that model to fit in our city's needs, as it has some minor flaws. This is the Harris-Oman model of multiple nuclei, where you can see that the different zones, industrial zones, industrial suburbs are farther away from the population. So this is also another example that industrial zones are farther away from the citizens. The same can be seen here. I hope you understand it. Efficient energy management and conservation. As the population grows and the demand for energy grows, to meet this increasing demand of energy, we have established a few solutions. First off, we like to limit personal travel as much as possible. Commuting and traveling the city should ideally use public transport. To ensure this, there has to be a broad availability of buses, trains, trams, and subways. But the system also has to be easy to use and able to reach nearly every destination. A good example of this would be the public transportation system in Hong Kong or Tokyo, as it is readily available and has a, of course, proportional to the population, huge area. By doing this, we would essentially limit the amount of fossil fuels needed for commuting by car, for example. Our public transport would ideally use electric or renewable resources, and buses would ideally be either fully electric or running on biogas, biofuel. And this would remove a huge amount of noise caused by personal vehicles as well. We would ensure that the energy used by the population comes from non-conventional or renewable sources, which are both pretty much the same, with conventional sources being fossil fuels and non-renewable energy sources. We want to promote the use of such types of energy by ensuring its availability. This would also help us reduce the carbon output by a considerable amount, thus contributing to the environment. Here are a few examples of non-conventional energy sources. They include wind energy, solar energy, ocean, thermal energy, tidal energy, hydropower, and biogas generation. And they help us conserve our natural resources. Here are a few videos that you'll be able to see once I've shared the website link. Maintaining the green in the city is a very important part of city planning. By making sure that the green spaces can thrive, we also help ourselves. Green areas help keep the air fresh and reduce pollution. They also help the city cool off, which is especially important in this time of uncertain weather. Due to the decreased population, we would also reduce the toll the population takes on the human body and mind, thus increasing productivity and the economic output. To ensure this, we can plant trees and plant along sidewalks, alleys, and streets. We can also build parks with examples of urban parks, being the Central Park in New York City or the Englischer Garten in Munich. We would also subsidize the establishment of rooftop gardening and urban gardening in general, thus making it attractive for individuals to contribute to the green in the city. Here are a few really far away examples of what we mean by urban gardening. And these are some already established ideas. Thank you for listening to that presentation. And yeah, can I make sure that the link to the presentation is shared after this conference?
Yes, we will share that. If you give us the permission, we will share
Yeah.
it.
All right. So that's it. Thank you for listening. And thank you, Brent and the team, for listening as well.